Hello there. So everybody is posting about this and I had to jump on the bandwagon. It is time for my favorite books of 2014 video. Like, I can't believe 2014 is coming to an end. Like, the real thing, it's not even that we're gonna be in 2015. It's the fact that all these books were read this year. Like, I'm on book 56. I'm gonna finish it before the year is out. So 56 books is not as good as last year. I read 63 last year, but I will take 56 really because, like, I had so many reading slumps. But I'm just, like, looking back, I have this huge pile of books and it's just like, how did I even read like, I don't even remember reading half of these, but, like, it's all coming back to me and it's just like, good times, good times. So I have a lot of books to show you and I'm gonna do it. I ranked them. So I'm gonna go through the ranking. Alright, so book 15 of the year, the bottom of my top at the moment, Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. This is a contemporary book and it'll warm your heart. It's so beautiful. Like, I love Colleen Hoover because I just remember picking it up and I was just not excited about it for some reason. Like, I like Colleen Hoover, but I was like, is this really gonna blow my mind like the other books I've read from her? Yes, it will. So good. It's about this girl and this guy. Of course, the guy writes songs and the girl, actually helps him to write songs. But it's not just that. There's a plot twist that you don't know about that'll change your mind about this book. Like, it's so good. It even has a soundtrack, like CD, that like matches up to the songs in the book. Like, it's so good. And I love it. It was one of the best contemporaries I've read all year. The 14th book on our list is House of Hades by Rick Riordan. I actually read all but 2 of the Percy Jackson books this year. I read The Lightning Thief last year, and I have not read Blood of Olympus yet, but I've literally read all the ones in between. So this is my favorite out of all his books so far, and The Last Olympian is in close second, but this is just so heart-wrenching and beautiful, and Cleo feels. I just have so many Cleo feels that I'm just gonna put that out there, but so good. Such a good 4th installment. I don't know what the 5th one holds, but this was good. This was real good, guys. The next one I wanted to put higher on my list, but, like, there's just too many good books that I read this year. So it seems like it's really low on the list, but it's still really high in my heart. Number 13 is Retribution of Mara Dyer. This is the 3rd book in the Mara Dyer series, and it's so good. Like, I got almost everything I wanted out of this book. It's upside down. Why didn't you guys tell me? I got almost everything I wanted out of this book, and I still want some answers, but, like, that's half the fun of Mara Dyer, is having questions without answers, so whatever. But it was a really good finale, and there were some plot twists, so that was exciting. But yeah, it was really good. I love Mara Dyer. I'm so sad it's over. Number 12, Where She Went by Gayle Forman. This is the sequel to If I Stay, and I did not expect to like it. I actually put off reading it for the longest time because I was just convinced that nothing could match If I Stay. And so the last time I read If I Stay was when I was a sophomore in high school. And I read this on 4th of July in one day. And it was the most adorable, beautiful thing ever. And, like, I just really liked it a lot. Like, I love books where the author just goes from the guy's point of view, because I don't know what it is, but the guy's POV is just so much more interesting than the girl's half the time. Not gonna lie. I don't know what that means, but I just loved it so much. And it's the book that made me love the song Chicago by Sufjan Stevens. Whew, that's a good song. So I love this book. Number 11 is In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. This is the 3rd book in the Darkest Minds series. The Darkest Minds series is now over, but this was a really fantastic finale. Like, so memorable, so beautiful. Like, I cried. It was just so good. And I love the characters in this series, and I'm really sad that it's over, but, like, I enjoyed this book so much. It was just really good. Like, I feel like that's all I can say for all these books. They were just so good, okay? Like, lots of feels. The next one I don't have on me because I'm blending it out, but it is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by, I don't remember who, Benjamin somebody. Yeah. And it's a contemporary, but it's so good. It's like, it mimics Perks of Being a Wallflower, in my opinion. Like, the writing style is kind of similar, and it's just so beautiful. And I related to it a lot, even though it's like really not that relatable to me personally, but like, it was so good. Blew my mind with its goodness, and it was a really enjoyable read, and like, I teared up a couple times. It was that good, but I really, really enjoyed it. Definitely worth it. The next one is kind of a tie, but not really. I mean, it's this one, Storm of Swords, but I also want to give this like an honorable mention. Like, it would have made this spot, but this was better. This one won just because it moved quicker, in my opinion, and it was like, the plot twists were so good. Like, I read almost this entire series this year, and it was hard. It was a struggle, but this one was my favorite out of all of them. It was just so, I love this world and these characters, and I'm just so excited for there to be a new book in this series. So that's cool. But this one, it deserves an honorable mention because it had one of the best endings I think I've read in a long time. Not because it was like a happy ending, because it definitely wasn't happy, but it's, he just doesn't shy away from anything. This author, George, sometimes I want to kill that man, but like, he knows how to make us scream. And I still remember the night I finished this book, and it'll stick with me for a long time. So that's why this deserves an honorable mention, but this one is better. The next one was super good. When I finished, I remember thinking, this is my favorite book of 2014. Not true anymore, because I read some really great books, but this one, The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. This is about aliens who basically want to destroy the Earth. It's kind of similar to The Host, but different, because the aliens are different, and it's just different, but it's so good, so awesome, and mind-blowing, and the characters are really good, and I just can't wait for the film. Like, I think it's gonna be really good, because they have Chloe Grace Moretz starring. I'm so excited. It was just such a good book, and it's like one of the prettiest books this year. I love the cover, but like, honestly, you can't beat this. So pretty. I haven't read the second one, but this is definitely up there. So good. Definitely worth reading if you haven't yet. The next one is Ruin and Rising, and I read this entire series in October, and this one just happens to be my favorite. But it's, you know, like, there's some finales that make you cry because you're just so like, these characters are suffering, and like, I hate this, and this is so sad. And like, this one, I don't remember how much I cried, if I even cried at all, but like, it was just one of those moments where I ended it and I was like, my heart is happy. Like, it's over, but I'm happy. It was just a really great ending, and there was so much hope and beauty, and people were disappointed with it, but I was not. Like, I jumped on the bandwagon really late, but it was so good. I really, really loved it, and it's definitely one of my favorite books of the year. And Leigh Bardugo is amazing. The next one I also don't own, because I'm lending it to my friend in Pennsylvania, so it's all the way in Pennsylvania right now, but Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. It's the third and final book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, and I loved it. I don't even remember it anymore, but when I read it, it was my jam. Like, the characters in that series are so good. The writing is amazing. The plot twists blow your mind away. Like, it was a great finale. And like, the best part about it was, I just feel like she could write another series, and I hope she will maybe think about doing that, but she left it in such a way that there was kind of closure, but not enough that I was like, I don't know what that was supposed to be, but there was like closure, but also there's room for more growth, and I hope she chooses to go towards that growth, because it was really good. And I cried, and it was awesome, and I loved it. The next one, it would be higher on my list, but it's only because of the Emma Carstairs. If you cut out all the Emma Carstairs and you just left it to the main characters, it would be so good. But Emma Carstairs, she ruined it for you. No, but this one book, I read it in 16 hours with Laura, and I have video diaries up of it. It's really fun. But this was one of the most anticipated books of the year, and it crushed me. I bawled. Like, you can watch the video for the proof. I cried like a baby. It was just so moving and beautiful, and like, Cassandra Clare endings, they're simultaneously the saddest thing you've ever read and the most uplifting thing in your life. And like, that's what this was. It was so terrible, but it was also incredibly beautiful, and oh, I'm just so sad it's over. I really want to reread it because it was that good, but like, it's a monster. And I really only care about like this much of the book. So this is up there, but it would be higher without Emma Carstairs. The next one I read in February. And it managed to make it all the way up this high. And I don't know if that's because I'm imagining how it went, but it was pretty damn good. Ignite Me by Taha Mafi. This is the third and last book in the Shatter Me series, and it was really good. Like, it makes you want to marry Warner. Warner's awesome, so cute and awesome, and it's such a beautiful book because it's about more than just like, let's get the guy and get the girl together. Like, it's about personal growth, and it's about facing your fears and being a badass and being awesome, and friendship, and I don't know, but it was just so good and beautiful, and like, I'm honestly so sad that it's over because I love it. This wins best book cover. Yeah. So we have 3 books left. These are ones that came out of nowhere, it feels like. Like, I did not anticipate them being on this list until I read them and realized how awesome they are. But the first one, number 3, third best book of the year, Angel Fall. So, oh, I could rave about this book forever and ever and ever. And it wasn't even like the best written book or the best plot or anything. It's just that it goes in such a crazy direction so fast that you're like, what did you do to me? Like, what just happened? Also, Raffi is my book boyfriend, so you can't take that away from me. But I just love this book, and I'm so excited for the last book to come out in May, and possibility of a film, and like, the second book was really good, and I just love this series, guys. It was like, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but it's just so awesome. Second best book of the year. Number 2, Cress by Marissa Meyer. Okay, so if you've read this, you'll know why this is up this high, but it's not even the finale of the series, and it's just so good. Like, it's like all my best friends got together and had a party, and like, I just got to enjoy the party. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like that. It was so good, and the romance, like, I love all the couples, and good plot, good writing, like, oh man, so good. I just love the Lunar Chronicles and Cress. And winter comes out next November, so winter is coming. And the last book, the best book of the year, I don't even know how this happened. Did not intend for this to happen, but I'm still reading the best book of the year, actually. And I bet you can guess what it is if you know what I've been reading recently. Best book of the year for me, in my opinion, out of all these books, although they were all great, Heir of Fire. Underdog came out of nowhere. I didn't even know this book was on my list until like yesterday, to be honest. Like, Crown of Midnight was so good, and I read this whole series in December. Now, this month, I'm still reading this, but it's still the best book of the year. I don't even care how it ends. Like, it's gonna be awesome, but I don't care how it ends because so far it has been the best. It's so good, and I love the characters in this series. And I'm so sad that I have to wait until September when I'm done with this to read the next one, because it will change your life, guys. Change your life. Such a good fantasy series. And honestly, if you let me talk for too long, I will just rave about that book and all these books, because all of these books are just so good. And I love them, and I'm so glad I read them all this year. And like, there are people who said they had trouble picking favorites of the year because they didn't have that many, but like, These are only like the best of the best. Like I could have put Crown of Midnight in there. I could have put World After. I could have put Scarlet, because Scarlet was pretty good too. Like, Into the Still Blue came out this year. What else did I read? So many books. So many. Like, I reread Mockingjay, which doesn't really count, but it was good. Eleanor and Park, I read this year. It was awesome when I read it, but like, compared to these books, no. But yeah, like, I have a whole list, actually, of all the books I read in 2014, if you want to go see them. And I have them all, like, starred, and they're really great. It's really pretty, so please look at it. But I read a lot of books this year, but these are the best of the best. So good. So good. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And, the next favorites video I'll make will be next year, in a year, 12 months. So I guess I'll see you then. Just kidding, I'll make videos before that, but it'll be a new set of books that are my favorites. There were a lot of finales that came out this year, and I'm just now realizing how many of my favorites are finales, but YOLO, right? YOLO. Okay, well, I've gotta go, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you in 2015. Not really, but kind of. Okay, bye.